Hello, we're on week 2, going deeper into this journey of discipleship. And I want to remind you that last week we went through the definition of a disciple. Matthew chapter 4, verse 19. We say it this way: in the invitation is the definition. And so Jesus said, "Come and follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." So come and follow, right? You're going to follow me. You're not a disciple unless you're following Jesus. And we talk about this as Jesus is our head. Head meaning that our authority, the one we follow. But as we are following him, he's changing what we think. He's what we believe. He's taking us as we are, but he's influencing the way we see the world more and more like Jesus sees it. So not only is he our authority, but he's changing the way we think. And we're being renewed in our mind, according to Romans chapter 12. Then he says, "Come and follow me, and I will make you." And he takes you as you are, but he makes you into something else. And what is it? Well, he changes our heart. So we're committed to being changed by Jesus at the heart level, relationally, who we love, not just what we think, but what we love, who we love, how we love. Jesus said all the law and the prophets, all the things that he commanded, hang on the two commands of love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. Matthew 22:37. So he's our head, he's changing our heart, and our hands have to do with we're committed to following Jesus, being changed by Jesus, committed to the mission of Jesus. Everything he's placed in our hands, our gifts and our abilities, we're created anew in Christ Jesus, Ephesians chapter 2. For good works which God planned for us to do. So he's changing what we do with our hands. And ultimately, our feet are impacted, where we live and how we live in the 5 spheres. So let's go to the next visual there. And I want you to notice here that if you put all of this together, you've got, he's changing our head, our heart, and our hands, our feet, where we're going to live. You'll find out more about that later on. But the process by which he does this in us is what we call the SCMD process. Jesus had a methodology. He shared his life, and then he shared the truth, who he was, what he came to do. Those who accepted the message he shared, they accepted. He said, "I am inviting you into an intentional relationship, connection." The car here represents the vehicle by which he trains us in. The vehicle is relationship. If you're going on a road trip, you've got a destination. You've got a driver. Jesus was the driver. He invited them into a relationship to go on this journey towards spiritual maturity in every part of our life. So you've got, he shared his life, he shared the truth, he invited people into the vehicle to connect with him. In connection, he started changing what we believe and how we feel about things, and our heart starts to change, and he's moving us towards becoming a minister. In connection, we started out as a consumer, but now we're becoming a minister, a servant. We've been given a position from which to serve from. The disciples were always like, "Who's the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? I want to sit on the right or the left hand." And Jesus said, "No, I came to serve, and you're going to serve." He's changing us from being a consumer to a minister with our gifts, our abilities, our talents, our time. Ultimately, he then sends people out to be a disciple. Every Christian is a disciple who's learning to disciple others, committed to the mission of Christ, where? Everywhere we work, live, and play. So, as you start to look at this, we're going to be unpacking this at a very practical level as we go. We're going to get more and more practical as we go. But this SCMD process has everything to do with how Jesus actually made disciples, and then the early church followed his pattern. They went out and shared their lives and the gospel with people. Those who accepted, they got connected. Acts chapter 2. They became devoted to the apostles' teaching, to the breaking of bread, to fellowship, and to prayer. They sold their possessions to give to whoever had need. They met together in the temple courts and from house to house, large group, small group, all of that. Learning to become a minister, going out to make disciples, and the church followed that pattern. Paul did that with Timothy. Timothy was told to raise up reliable men who will be able to teach others in this pattern of SCMD towards maturity. I hope this starts to make sense to you. God bless you. We'll see you next week.